Eric, good morning.
Morning.
It's first game of the season. I guess, how is the sentiment of the team, yourself, going into this first one?
So we're super excited right now. There's probably no better way to start the season playing against Inter Miami at home, especially at home, and we're totally ready.
I think conditions have to be, brought up. I guess, have you ever played in anything near this level of cold that we're seeing? Maybe close to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, anything like that? Are you used to playing in the cold?
I mean, there's also cold weather in Germany. I don't remember if it was that cold, but to be honest, we were training the entire week. No one was asking us if it's warm enough for us. You just have to move, and then you will forget the weather because it's all about the game, and we're totally happy to welcome our fans tomorrow.
And this Inter Miami team, a team that you guys played last year at Arrowhead, played them 2 years ago in Miami. Obviously, this is over 2 legs, but what do you look at kind of going into this game, this Miami team? What do they do well?
I think it's going to be a totally different game compared to the last 2 seasons. On one side, they have another team, we have another team, so another conditions as well. We have 2 legs, good for us. We want to be successful tomorrow and then see how we can use that for the second leg. But the first target is obviously tomorrow, our game, to win it. I think we have a great chance at home in front of our fans. It's going to be good.
I know Blake asked about the weather. Is there anything you do to prepare for that or just endure it?
I think my routines are always the same. It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm. I think you can protect yourself a little bit with clothes or whatever it is, but at the end, if you move around, it's going to be warm, and if you win, it's going to be much warmer than you expect.
And you're getting the new players have come in. Dejan came in preseason, and Manu just a few days ago, and Shoppy now. Just how have any first experiences? How is it trying to get used to them?
All of them, doesn't matter what kind of additions we got during the off season. All of them are great. I think we just want to make it as easy as possible for them to adapt as quick as possible. And hopefully they could help us like really quick. But on the other side, I want to give them also a little bit more time because it's also hard to join a new club, especially when you come from abroad. And we will see. We will see how fast they can help us. And like I said, great guys.
Taking on Inter Miami, I know there's a lot of new guys on the team this year. Just kind of what do you think of your initial thoughts of this year's the first matchup?
Again, sorry.
Just taking on Inter Miami, what are your thoughts on the matchup with the new kind of team and new players on the team this year?
I mean, we will see. We are well prepared. We have another training session. Don't want to say too much before tomorrow because it's going to be also maybe a secret. Who knows? And everyone is ready. That's the most important thing, mentally wise. And let's see. Because I think for Miami, it's also not easy to come here to play also in that kind of condition because Florida is obviously a little bit warmer, and we can use it for our advantage for sure.
A question right next to you from Matt.
Eric, when we talked to you before preseason got underway, you were one of the guys more veteran left over from last year's squad and still trying to figure out who were going to be the new leaders of this year's team. With preseason done, who have you kind of seen step up into more those vocal leadership roles heading into this year?
I think it's not a secret that we have a slightly change in our team. Just want to make sure that that I enjoyed playing since 2.5 years with everyone who was here, all the veterans who left. I don't want to name everyone because there were too much. But the locker was always great, and we have to keep going like that. We have to take into the next years, obviously that year, and we have enough players who can step up, who have the quality and also mental-wise who are ready to help us. And I said it maybe a couple of weeks ago, just give us a little bit more time. We need to be patient because we have a young team right now, and we need to find each other and adapt as quick as possible. So, but at the end, the most important thing is that we have good characters in our team, and we do. I think we have just great types of guys. So that's the most important thing, and at the end, we will see.
Eric, for success this season with this team, just if you guys had to do one thing and you say you guys will have a successful season, what might that thing be?
to carry on the right mentality throughout the season. That will be, I think, the biggest challenge and the most important thing, because it's gonna be times where things won't go your direction, or maybe not the right path, and then we have to be mentally strong. Yeah.
Is that kind of like you mentioned having patience? Do you guys need to have patience with yourselves as well? And how hard is that to kind of carry on?
You know, as a soccer player, you want to win every game. So if you lose, you're not happy at all. Even in preseason, our results were not good enough, to be fair. But at these points, you need to be patient, because there's a change. You need to work harder, and at the end, you're going to be successful. So not every game, like I said, will be our game. And like I said, soccer players want to win every time, and that's slightly impossible. And so the season is really long. It's really long, and first of all, we need to be healthy, and then at the end, patient, like I said.
We talked about some of those new guys coming in. They have to adapt quickly with the season starting. You came in middle of the season here to Sporting a couple years ago, adapted very quickly. I guess, can you talk a little bit about what that was like for you and maybe how they're adapting?
Yeah, everything went super fast. I arrived, I played 3 days later. So I think no one of you knows how it is, because in the background, a lot of things happen. You need to find an apartment or a house. If you have family, you take them with you. And then the new language, new mentality, new culture. That's trust me, that's hard. So that's why I said it. The new guys, just give them a little bit more time. I had luck, because at the end I had a good team, who welcomed me really warm and helped me in every kind of situation, and that's what we wanted to do for the new guys as well.
Morning. I was just curious, the cold, the weather forecast tomorrow. How do you feel about playing in that type of weather, and how have you prepared your guys for that?
I guess it doesn't matter how I feel. I'm not playing. No, I've played in conditions before as a player in different countries, here as well, where it's been cold. And I think once the game starts, you, as a player, because you're running around, and you just get on with it and you play the game. But both teams have to do it too, right? So it's part of the game.
How do you feel like you guys have prepared yourself for this match so far?
I think according to the weather and everything else, as best we can. I think our grounds crew has done a great job with the field here, and with our heating system and everything. All of that has been great. It's given us a chance to at least play on grass. We wouldn't have been able to do that at the training facility. But it's been great that we've been able to come here. So the guys have trained well. The mentality and the attitude has been good in and around it as well. Because it's hard sometimes in the preparation when, you have to stop and start when it's really cold, but they've been really good.
With some of the new guys, Shapi, Manu, obviously Dejan's been in a little longer with preseason, but what have you seen now with a couple trainings under their belt?
Shapi hasn't, Manu has. The good thing is Manu's coming off of already playing. He had a little bit of a break while he's waiting for his P1 visa, but he's also very professional, did a bunch of stuff while he was on the break from his team and waiting for his P1 visa. Shapi comes from a place where he plays in this kind of weather a lot, or he has played in this kind of weather. So I think they come in with good mentalities as well. I would say that you have to be very careful to have the expectation to think that they're all of a sudden just going to jump in, but I think their adaptation to the team has been good thus far.
How quickly can you get those new guys integrated? I mean, will we see them in this match?
I'm not sure. I would say much harder for Shapi than it is for Manu, but it's not easy for Manu either. Just getting here and a couple days with us, it's a little bit difficult from that perspective. And I also want to be cognizant of the fact that he's also traveled. Both guys have traveled a long way to get here. There's a little bit of fatigue with that as well. I think we as a staff have to be smart around that.
And I guess, what's your thoughts on playing a cup match at this point in your season?
Yeah, I think it's always a challenge before you even played a game to step into something like this right away. But we have done it before. and I think there's some guys that are here that have done it. At the same time, it's a game for us, and so the guys, we have to use it for all the opportunities that it provides for us, right? We're playing obviously an excellent team. We're also playing a game before we start the season, which can help us, make a little bit more progression as well as a team. And then the other is that, always being in a situation where you can play a competitive match is always good for the evolution of your team.
Peter, is there any advantage to having already trained a couple days in this type of weather, whereas Miami's coming from 70 and sunny?
Well, I would say this, it won't be a surprise to our guys, but it's still going to be colder, tomorrow than it is today. So I think it's one of those things where it's always hard to get ready to play in games like this. But I would also say too, if you're in the middle of winter and then all of a sudden you got to go somewhere and play where it's really, really hot, that can also be a little bit of an effect on you too. So I would assume that in some respects, it's going to be a little bit of a shock to them. Because I know when we got back here after being in Palm Springs, we got off the plane on Wednesday night, whatever it was definitely a difference in temperature from where we came from.
And being a two-leg tie and this being your first game of the year, do you change your approach at all because of that?
No, we just got to go. We got to go on with what we determined we were going to do. Again, we know who we're playing. I wish there was a lot different that we can do, but we're playing some of the best players that have played the game, and they're always a difficult group. And there's one guy that can change the outcome of any game he ever plays in.
Just player safety wise, or maybe like injury prevention wise, is there anything that you just have to do differently when the conditions are such?
I would say that, look, you have to stay warm, which in soccer is not a hard thing when you're playing within the 45 minutes. I would say prior to the game, you have to have a really good warm up, and then also prior to the second half. Those are two really important things. The rest of it just, you're moving in the game. Soccer is it's not a game where you stop all that much, right? So guys stay warm in the game.
Any additional questions in the room? We do have one from Daniel Sperry.
You kind of mentioned those really good players that the other team has. There's been talks that Messi won't play. I mean, how do you guys change your approach to game plan if he does or doesn't play, or do you at all?
I said this last year when we played them. He's played so many games and so many teams, coaching staffs have come up with strategies to try and stop him, and nobody can stop him. What you're always trying to do is you're trying to deny as many balls to him as you possibly can throughout the course of the game. So it really doesn't change us all that much. We still gotta defend. We still gotta find our opportunities to attack, and you gotta be very well concentrated on set pieces, especially if he's the one who's taking them, and you can't give up too many around the box as well. Outside of that, everything's good.
At this time, we'll open it up to questions via Zoom. If there are any media members on Zoom that would like to ask a question, please use the raise hand function or submit your question in the Q&A. We'll wait just one moment for those to come in. Do you have one question here from Safid Dean? Safid, your line is open.
Hey, Coach. Safadine with USA Today. Just any concerns about the game being postponed maybe a day? I know there's supposed to be at least like 5 to 7 inches of snow on Tuesday night. Less snow on Wednesday, but still wind chill conditions below zero. Any thoughts on if there's been any discussions on postponing maybe a day?
We're under the assumption that we're playing tomorrow, and that's what we're prepared for. If it were to change, we'll adapt and adjust to that as well. I think for both teams, we both play on Saturday, so still having the days in between to get ready for that match as well helps. Obviously, playing and having an extra day of rest would be better, but we'll adapt and adjust to whichever. But right now, we're focused on playing tomorrow.